All right. And then it's good to see, everyone else on. We've got Mo, we've got David, we've got Carolyn, good Carolyn, Adam, Jane, who else we got? Kenneth, Candice, Sasha, we've got Janet, we've got, sure, I saw Canal, yeah, Fayad, who else? Have I mentioned everyone? Miss T, da, 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 da. Hopefully I've mentioned you all. Jason Essex. Yeah, that's what I'm gonna say. All right, anyway, let's get to it. Okay, so I've recorded this. Right, now I'm gonna go in and start sharing. I'm gonna share the charts as well because obviously that's what we need to see too. And then I'm gonna break a few things down for you. Let me just make sure that I've got it up actually. Uh, 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 uh. Do, do, do. Can you all see? Yeah, that's not even funny, really, Jason. I'm only playing. But yeah, thanks for putting that in there. Um, appreciate you. Um, let me just ask this person. Okay. All right. All right, all right. Okay. Now, all right, okay. So I took some notes as well before. I wrote some notes. Um, okay, yeah, that's fine. That's fine. I understand if people are busy and they're doing stuff and whatnot. But and some people put it in the chat, like, okay, is it going to be recorded? I can't make it. Fair play. I understand that, right? Um, I took some notes before because I just wanted to kind of break a couple of things down for you. So I'm just going to read from my notes. First things first, right? So obviously, this is now being recorded, right? So I want you to understand certain things like capital flows, okay, across key assets. So in the financial markets, capital never stays still. All right. I mentioned this to you once before where, they were plowing loads of money into things like oil and stuff like that, right? Even though gold was still good, they were still plowing money into different assets, right? Apparently connections lost on my keyboard. Don't know why. Okay. So basically, it consistently and constantly rotates between assets, depending on the economic conditions and risk sentiment. Okay, is that Shah? Yeah, Shah's here. Shah's here. Yeah, that's why I called him out before because he's on, right, and he's got a brand new baby too. Um, so number one, gold. It's basically a safe haven asset. Okay. And if I'm losing you, please just tell me. I'm trying to make this as simple as possible. And what I will do is in time, I will, kind of be adding more to it and breaking more things down. I'm not gonna, over information overload kind of thing with you right now, but I just want to give you some things that you can take. Okay. So like I said, gold is a safe haven asset. Its primary role is to preserve value. right? So it performs well, which is the crazy part, okay? Is the crazy part is that it performs well in uncertainty, right? Inflation, crisis, okay? It does not generate yield driven mainly by it. Yeah, it does not generate yield driven mainly by risk sentiment and capital. I can't even speak right now. Okay. Um, okay, so Carl's coming on. Good stuff, right? So when the market is in the risk off mode, capital flows into gold, right? So basically, if there's war, if there's anything that Trump is going to announce and stuff like that, you guys already know some of this anyway, right? But I'm just trying to highlight things. And if I'm confusing you, please just say, right? I've never really been the great person to read from notes. And I probably should have just like free flowed it, but I wanted to make sure that I did it properly and not confuse you. So this is what I was doing. All right. So during bad times, anything negative, gold is going to, create good opportunities always, right? But them opportunities can fluctuate, right? For example, when gold was going massively up, yeah, and we broke all-time high after all-time high after all-time high after all-time high, okay? Every single time a bomb went off, right? And the sad reality is that people lost their lives, but every single time a bomb went off, gold would hit an all-time high, okay? And it just stayed on that steady flow of up, 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 okay? And that is the reality. And that's why I always say to you that I need you guys to also, we'll have a study group session where we're going to study the news. Yeah. So then you can look at the news, see what's happening in the world, and then it will help you to understand, is gold going, is gold going to do something major, right? But like I said, it fluctuates because this time when we had the war warning or the ceasefires and all of that kind of stuff, gold went down massively, right? So you'll never really know what direction it's going to go in, but just know that when something is happening, gold is gonna give you good opportunities to make money, right? Which it can do every day anyway, but it is what it is. So with USD, it's a capital and economic strength asset, right? It represents the US economy, the Fed policy. It strengthens when interest rates are high, the economy is stable, and acts as the world's reserve currency, right? So attracting global capital when rates are attractive and the economy is strong. Capital flows into USD, right? Now, if you want a copy of these notes, I can send it in the chat. I'll put it inside the trade ideas chat. So do let me know if you want a copy of these notes, okay? I can definitely send it in. Not a problem. I mean, bonds at the moment, where I did add bonds and stuff like that, right? It's a yield asset, provides fixed income, becomes attractive when interest rates rise and or stability is expected. Offers a balance between safety and return. When yields rise, capital shift flows into gold from bonds, right? So yeah, no problem. I can definitely put them notes in, right? Because it's good for you to know all of this stuff, yeah? So key flow logic is refined, it's a refined perspective, okay? So rising interest rates, capital shifts towards yield generation assets like USD and bonds. Gold becomes less attractive due to lack of yield. Okay. Results: USD strengthens, bonds strengthened, gold weakens. Okay. Uncertainty crisis and things like that. Environment. Investors prioritize capital preservation. Strong inflows into gold and bonds as a safe haven, right? So basically, USD may strengthen or fluctuate depending on liquidity demand. Results: gold strengthens, bonds strengthen, USD shows mixed or conditional strength. So strong economic growth, risk on environment, capital flows into USD and growth-driven assets. Reduced demand for defensive assets like gold results in USD strengthens, gold weakens due to capital rotation. Core insights. Market moves based on capital flow, not just price action. Understanding where money is going helps you to align with the dominant side of the market. Okay? So basically, what I've just shared is two key things with you on how capital flows and moves across three major assets and the logic behind the capital rotation under different market conditions. Okay? So look, it may feel a little bit detailed, but honestly, take your time to understand it. And obviously, as I go along and as we grow, I will give you a broader kind of insight into things like this. But I just kind of wanted to break down a little bit so that you guys can understand like where capital flows, where to put your attention to, because then you will choose the right things to trade when it's needed. Does that make sense? What I've just shared with you, does it make sense, or are you sitting there like scratching one's head? Let me know. Okay, good, 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 good. Right? Because understanding information like this will definitely set you aside because here's one thing, right? One thing that people won't teach you is this side of trading. You know, they keep it very basic, minimal, keep you confused because no one wants you to grow really in this industry. We all know this. We've been there time and time again. When I first started, when I did my first rodeo, right? It's where actually I met Kenneth, yeah? He joined me in that company. Their education was so basic but confusing, but still information. It was still like you got your basics and stuff like that, but it was very like there was nothing that could set you apart from anybody else, if that makes sense. It was designed to educate you but confuse you at the same time to keep you needing the company. I didn't like that. And I found that most people do that in this industry, is that they won't actually teach you properly everything that you need to know when it comes to trading. And that's why I keep saying that this community is going to be the only community out there that will do every side of trading, will do everything with you. Okay. Um, so most people won't teach you the stuff that you should really know as well. And that's the harsh reality, really. But it's all right. Doesn't matter. We got this community now, right? So we're all good. Okay, now, a couple of things I want to break down. Who on earth is calling me? I'm not going to answer that. Sorry, 1 second. Let me just see who that is on WhatsApp. Ugh. Okay. Right. Now we're on the 4 hour time frame. Remember, higher time frame. Um, you look at higher time frames for lower time frame like positions, right? Although you can execute on the 4 hour and whatnot, but that's what you're going to look at, right? So, just 2 seconds, guys. I just really need to get a drink. 1 second. Right, I'm back. Okay, here's a drink. Right, okay, so remember I told you about like fair value gaps and stuff like that, right? Now, when you're looking at higher time frames, they're the fair value gaps that you want to pay attention to because these are the ones that are going to hold the most weight when it comes to trading, right? Is these 4 hour, 1 hour fair value gaps, right? Now, another thing that you want to look out for is, for example, how many times has market been in that area of a fair value gap, right? Now, if you can see, this was the original fair value gap that we were looking at. Oh, I don't want to move it that much, right? But I'm just trying to make you understand, right? So this was the original area of the fair value gap, right? Right here, okay? Now you can see that market had some reaction in this zone. So what you do is you look out for fair value gaps on the higher time frames, okay? You look out for fair value gaps on the higher time frames. And I'll go back as far as this. I don't know if it's been any further, but this is enough information to really pay attention to, okay? So you can see in this zone, right, that it came in quite a lot of times just in this particular zone right here. Yeah, you can see it. Then it came back down, it dropped massively. But what did it do? Yeah, we had that big power drop. If you remember that big power drop that we had. But why do we have that big power drop? Okay, because look, it came in, bounced off it, came back up, back into it, came through it, dropped, came back through it, dropped, came back, came back, came back, then went up, then came back down into it a few times, then market reopened and it flew up. Yeah. So you can see that there's already a lot of activity in this area where this fair value gap originally was. Then market dropped. Okay. It tried to come through back through this zone. So we know now that this was a key level. Okay. Came back in, reacted from it, right? Came back, dropped straight through it, but then reversed all the way back up. Come back in, back up. You see what I'm saying here, guys, right? It attempted to come back, but it didn't quite make it, right? Then came back, came back, came back, came back, came back, came back, right? So this is the point I'm trying to make, yeah? So this was a massive key level. So originally the fair value gap was, where was it? Here, right? Right here. Then look what happened. We created another fair value gap back in this zone. So inverted fair value gaps. So then what happened was it came in, it created another fair value gap in this zone. So not only was this a key level, but it then became a kind of a key level, right? Um, and you could see that it was fighting to come back into it multiple times. So it was only a matter of time before it came back through this zone, took out this fair value gap that was right here, okay? And then again, it now becomes an inverted fair value gap zone, right? But also a key level zone. That is why, okay, it came through, wiped out the fair value gap, then it came back in to this zone. Okay, it dropped a bit, came back in, dropped into this one, then came back up into this zone, broke it, reacted from this here zone, dropped again, okay, then reacted again, dropped again, didn't quite make it in, right? But look, now there is a fair value gap. So this here zone, keep an eye out on this zone, 460, what was it, 46, I think it was 4602 or something, was it 4607? But it doesn't matter because it's where this fair value gap is now, right? So what I would say is keep your eyes on this here level because believe you me, it's going to come back into this level regardless of whether it comes back now or whether it goes up, whether it drops, whatever it chooses to do. This is a key level right here, okay? Because remember, higher time frame bias for lower time frame positions. Yeah. Now, let's take a look at this next one. Right. I don't think anymore because this was the start of the. I don't think anymore had it come into that zone, or maybe it had. Yeah. Right. So what was the price of that again? Let me just check. I gotta check. 60. What was it? This one. Or is it this one? This one. This is one we want to look at. So 4544, right? I don't know. I'll just check 4544. 4540. Right here. Okay. Let me just put a little line here for now. 4544. Okay. So you can see again, right? I don't think it has been in that level anymore. No, because that's when it started to push up, right? Going all the way back now. All right. But 4544. So let's just pull that box over because what I do believe that market wants to do, as you can see, so it is 4544 to 4523.8. I'm just going to take a picture of that so I don't mess it up. Okay. Am I making sense so far, guys? But more to the point, is this helping? So what was it? 4543.29, yeah? 45, 43. Oh, look at that. Smack bang on it. 23, 18. Oh, wow. We did good. We did good. All right, okay. So this level, right? Came in, reacted off of it, came in, tried to come back through it, reacted from here. Then what did it do? Dropped massively. Like, look at that drop on the 4 hour time frame. Yeah. Then tried to make its way back up, reacted from this here zone, then came back up through it, came back down into it, right? Again, you see this here, this big long wick came back into it. Again, boom. You notice how, look, do you notice something right here in these two levels? Do you notice something which I'm pointing out to you right now? Yeah? Look. Here. 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 Do you guys notice something? Let me know if you see what I'm pointing out to you. You see? Anyone? Yeah. So look, basically, look at the long wick candle down from this zone right into this zone. Long wick, yeah, look, from this zone into this zone. Long wick from this zone into this zone. Long wick from this zone into this zone, right? Oh, look, it tried to do it here. Long wick from this zone, but it just got stopped. It tried to come back into this zone, right? And again, tried to come up, but then drop massively. So this is my point, right? Now, these ones are also probably going to be, so you see, a zone can be as big as this all the way down to here, right? From 4,400 to 4,500, blah, 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 right? So let's just have a look at this zone. So where is this one? This is 86, 86. Hang on. Just mark that up. And then the next one. Okay. So let's do the same thing here. I don't know why I didn't just do this in the first place. It was so much easier. Sometimes we like to make things a little bit tricky for ourselves. What was it, the first one? No, I've messed that one up. 448692. 448692. That'll do. Get it. All right. And then this one. Right, okay. So I really want this to help you as much as possible, right? Now, as you can see again, a lot of activity in this zone, right? And look, from zone to zone to zone, back up, you see? So it was flitting in this area. This is why I'm telling you a zone. This becomes a zone, yeah? So I'm highlighting this to you so that you can understand certain key levels in the market, okay? Because when I said to you guys, like, look, market's going to come down and it's going to hit this area, yeah? And it did exactly that, right? How did I know that? I know you guys will say, like, she got a crystal ball out, she's Mystic Meg, blah, blah. I'm only joking. But it's just understanding, you know, certain information and how market moves and understanding that kind of like psychology as well in that respect. It's like understanding how market moves is so important, right? But look, it leaves you clues. You could call me Inspector whatever, right? Inspector Coulson. But this is my point, right? And then look, final level, look, the wicked straight through all three levels. Okay? This is the point I'm trying to make, right? It wicked straight through all three levels. Yeah? Level 1, level 2, and level 3, let's say. That's the game and the aim that it was trying to make, right? It kept coming up, coming up, coming up, coming through, bouncing, rejecting, bouncing, rejecting, bouncing, rejecting, and then one big power move to the downside, which wasn't that long ago. Remember it? Do you remember this wick when we were looking at it? Because it was such an area, this was what it was attempting to do. So there was a motive behind this here move because of level 1, 2, 3, right? So understanding levels is going to help you when it comes to trading. Understanding where fair value gaps are and stuff like that, because fair value gaps will give you clues as well, right? But it obviously, you see, what happens is when you've got a fair value gap and a key level, the fair value gap that gets wiped out becomes an inverted fair value gap. Therefore, it becomes a level that market is going to return back to. It's going to return, it's going to reject, it's going to return, it's going to reject, it's going to return, it's going to reject, right? That's what market will do. Return, reject, return, reject. Even the Bollinger Band. What do you mean? Oh, what? It came straight through the Bollinger. Is that what you're saying? Is that what you mean? The Bollinger came? Yeah, all right, okay, cool. Yeah. Even the Bollinger Band. So you will get, look, power moves like this, but look at that. This was another level that I marked out because look, you see, key level here came through, key level here, right? But we've already got this one here that I marked out a while ago. Yeah, look at that. In fact, I can't remember when I marked it out, but it weren't that long ago. But look, then look, key level to key level, back up, back through, smash. Straight down to this next level that I had marked out, right? Let's go back here. Yeah, I marked this out, actually, funnily enough. Yeah, I marked this out not long ago, I think. Yeah, not that long ago. But look, key level, key level. Oh, don't do that, Caroline. Right, so what you'll start to see is key levels. and you understand them levels, now, you see, market, this is also a key level. Okay? This is also a key level. So anyway, so the point I'm trying to make is that you should understand where key levels are and how market moves. Okay. Now look, this is a more kind of I would say advanced-ish training. But guys, are you all with me right now? Because I don't want to be going too advanced if you guys are not with me. Tell me to shush, tell me that it's too much for you. Let me know. Yeah? You with me? Are you happy with this? Because I don't want nothing going over your head. You get it? It's all good. Okay, cool. Cool. Right? I don't want anyone confused in any way, shape, or form. Right? So I literally said to you pretty much a few times this week, guys, market's going to come down to XYZ zone. I think one of them was 600, the other one was 58, and it came down. I mean, it came down even further, but I think 58 was this one here, and it hit 42, right? Hit 42 because it came through here, inverted fair value gap. It came through here because it wanted to take out the fair value gap, but guess what? Market reacted because this is a reaction zone. That's why the fair value gap still remains. And then what it did is it came up, came back down, came up, you see, and now we've got another fair value gap. But look, we've also got on this time zone the bearish fair value gaps as well. So now what it's been doing is it's been fluctuating between the both. So market went and hit that zone. I said if we go up, we should get it to this area. If we break this one, we should go up, right? That was on Friday, I think, before we closed the call. Okay. So was it on Friday before we closed the call? I can't remember. Actually, it doesn't really matter when it was. But the point is, the point I want to make is as well, is that if you are trading and you are noticing that the market's always, look, the market's always going to fluctuate between key levels. As I said to you at the start of the call, market reacts where money flows as well. Market reacts to what's happening in the world. But it uses these key levels as well, right? So whenever you are in trades, the best thing that you can do as well, especially when we're in zones like this, right? To protect yourself from big wick drops that we have seen in the market, right? You want to make sure that you're protecting yourselves when you are in trades like this, yeah? As long as you do that, you'll be fine, right? So now the what the market could do when it opens, it could shoot up into this fair value gap, drop back down into this fair value gap, or it could continue coming down, come into these key levels here before it goes back up. Right? Remember, market will only go back so far down. So it would be highly unlikely that we end up going all the way back down into, I'm just showing you something, into this here zone. This is where market was when I started learning how to trade. It was all the way down here, all the way down. Imagine if I had put a buy on back then. Oh my God, I'd be, yeah, wealthy as hell, right? But this is where market was. when I started learning how to trade. Okay. And look at the growth that it's had in this whole time. Now, it's very unlikely that market will go back to them zones unless gold has, what am I doing? Unless gold has a major crash, right? And I keep dreaming about it. I'm not gonna lie. I keep dreaming that one day we're in the market, all of a sudden it just crashes, and then you just see this big like when a bomb goes off, and you just see this big cloud of smoke. That's what I keep dreaming about. It's crazy, but maybe it's what's gonna happen in the future. Now imagine if you're in a seller market did that, right? But um So again, something else I want to point out as well is that inverted fair value gaps will be inverted only it's not going to stay inverted forever, if that makes sense. It's not going to stay a key level forever, because what the market will do is it will create new key levels. So all you have to look for is that built up area, right, in the market where it's been in the past. And then you'll know that this is a key level, and it's something that I want to keep my eye on. And then if we're dropping, you'll start to grasp it the more and more you're on the sessions with me. Yeah, it will always create new key levels, because the market's not stupid, right? It knows that people know this information, and it's almost like it wants to defeat you. So the mindset that I have when I go into the charts is like, okay, so you want to defeat me, but I want to defeat you. Who's going to win? That's the kind of mindset I have with the market, right? I'm constantly going in it like that. Oh, it's just, I think it's important how you look at the market and not allow it to literally get you, right? And the thing is as well, guys, one thing I really want to point out to everybody, everyone that's plugging in, everyone that's learning, right? And I want to look in the camera and say this. You will be successful in trading. You will. You will. Yeah, chase or be chased. Yeah, I'm like Cadmus. Yeah, I'm literally Hunger Games, right? Don't mess with me because I'm coming for you. But anyway, you will be successful at this. You will win. 100%. You already are. Should I tell you why you already are? Because you're plugging in, you're listening, you're showing up. People that don't show up all the time, right? Yeah, I get it that there are people that may work, they've got things happening and stuff like that. And I'm talking showing up as well by watching the recordings and stuff like that. But people that don't show up and they want to be part-time, won't watch the recordings, just expect different things, they're not going to be successful. They might as well pack it all in right now. They may as well pack it all in right now. I'll be honest with you. Because trading is life. Trading becomes your life. They who think they can will. Yeah, exactly. But trading will become your life. If you let it take you and let it destroy you, then what's the point, right? But if you keep going and consistently continue to do whatever it takes to do it, one day, and here's the thing, right? Leanne shared a video the other day in the chat, and the person said, like, you are gonna make it. You are gonna make it, right? And all them fails, all them losses, all that shit that you had to put up with when it comes to trading, all of it, all of it, you could make it up in the space of one day. or 1 week or 1 month. You could wipe away all of that badness that you went through in 1 month. He did. And I've not just heard it from him, I've heard it from so many other people. They went through loss after loss after loss after loss, right? But they didn't have a community like this. They didn't have people that actually wanted to see you guys win. They didn't have people that give a shit. Sorry for swearing a couple of times, but I don't care right now, right? They didn't have people that actually give a shit about them. You guys have something very different what you have here. You have something very different and something very powerful because you have people that actually care. You have a community that want to grow together and expand. You have me. That's the difference, right? That's the difference. But if you do not plug in and you show up part-time and you don't bother. Because to me it's like and sorry, but I feel like I have to say this. This has just come to me, right? But I put so much into this community, put so much into it. And it does piss me off a little bit when people don't show up and they don't respond to messages in the chat. But yet they're happy to just do whatever. I want to see people win. So I want to see people show up consistently, as much as they can. Guys, if I'm overstepping the mark, tell me. I really just tell me. But what I see, and I've seen so many people hit success and change the entire course of their lives, right? The guy I've told you about from the Czech Republic, he plugged in and plugged in and plugged in and plugged in. Mark, right? Another one. Unfortunately, Mark got ill. Yeah, so he can no longer do this, which is so sad. But I made Mark plug in constantly with me. That's how he made 76,000 in 13 weeks. I've seen so many people in this industry just be like, dipping their little toe in, right? Dipping their toe in. Mark was what got me and Dia Nilly working together. Mark was the doorway for me and Dia Nilly to connect. Because we was in two totally different groups, so to speak, but the same group, if that makes sense. Right? It was his results that got Dia Nilly wanting to reach out to me. But my point is, I've seen so many people just give up after a month. After a month. After 2 months. After 6 months. Do you think if I had to give up after 6 months, any of you would be on this call right now? None of you would. Kenneth wouldn't be here. If I had to give up, Kenneth wouldn't be here now. Would you, Kenneth? If I had to give up after 6 months, he would not be here right now. I hope this has hit someone, and I hope this has made someone see, because I believe that God speaks through me whenever, right? I believe it. And that I wasn't even supposed to say any of this, but I just whoosh came out, right? So I just felt like I needed to say it. Okay? Never give up on yourself, because I promise you, you will be successful with this. I promise you. If you just do what you need to do to get it done. Yeah, don't feel bad. Don't feel bad, because you always say it, Miss T. Miss Taco. Right? You always say it. Yeah? You always say it. Surround yourself with people that have what you want. Yeah, of course. But surround yourself with people that actually genuinely want to see you win and not them win from your success. That's the people you want to surround yourself with, right? They're the people you want to surround yourself with because, yeah, it's good. But as long as them people have your best interests at heart, right? So, I had to say that. I felt like it. It came out of me, and it is what it is, right?
Meow.
But now,
Yeah.
come on, I'm gonna call down and I'm gonna call. Okay, so
Love you.
I love you too. Can you shut the door, please? Thank you.
Well, can I go to my friend's room?
We'll talk about this later.
Yeah.
Thank you. Right, so far, has this helped you? Has it helped you? Right? Because that's what I want. I want to make sure that this is helping you. Has this helped you so far? Right? Keep talking to me in the chat. You know I like it. Okay, good. Right, now, another thing I want to say, okay, is what? Is that Jason again? Has he changed his name? Okay. Right, okay. So now you guys know that I have my lines open, right? Now I'm doing that because I'm that's for scalping, okay? This is purely and simply for scalping. When I'm not scalping, I'm not using these lines. So I just want you to understand that, okay? I'm doing this when I want to make a quick, I want to take some quick trades and make some money. I do this when I'm live on TikTok as well to show people, as well that we can smash it, right? So this is why I use these lines. Now I changed them yesterday. I went and I cleared them out and went back through. Okay. Now these really do help when it comes to market breaking certain levels. Yeah. But I'm not just looking at the lines. Now look, you can see whenever I put my lines down, they line up with certain different things. Yeah. You can see they line up. They line up here, right? You can see rejected. Yeah. Yeah. The zones. Again, everything is a zone, right? But look, you can see that they line up. So here, I'm also looking at the candles. I'm looking at the candles as well, right? Because you can see key levels. Again, these are key levels. When it breaks a key level, you know you're going to get some good pips out of it. And remember why I'm teaching you this as well. We hit profit every single time when we do it, okay? We do. The trades that come through and when we're on these sessions, remember, all we do is we take the trade, stretch out our candles, click the trade, right? Set our SL and our TP or our SL and we push it up, right? We push up let's say if we entered here, we push it up, we set it, right? Then we click it again and we follow until it starts to look like it's coming back. And then boom, we reset it again. Simple as that. Right now, again, like I said, they also become key levels. These are also key levels. So we wait for the break and we enter. Now, sometimes it's going to break and it's going to pull back. Okay. We know that, which is fine. But as long as we enter and set, boom, we're done. Or we can just enter and close, but enter and setting, is the best thing that you can do. You set it. Done. Right? We took this sell, didn't we? On the call, on the last session that we had. We took this sell. Okay? Look how far it came down. We waited for it to break. Look, this was the zone that we were waiting for it to break. No, we enter on the break. If we waited for candle close, we would have lost all of that. So we wait for the break because look, right? You can see here a level. I might not have this one marked out, but it's a level. Look, candle wick down. Look, this candle here, this candle here, this candle here. All lines up pretty much. So we were waiting for the break of this here. Yeah, so from here. So when it broke, we took the sell. We would have missed that if we waited for the this to break, right? So then this continued to keep going down and down and down and down and down. And I think a lot stayed in it, right? A lot of you stayed in it until I think it got down to wherever, I don't know, right? But then market started doing its thing to the upside, right? But that was a solid move to the downside. But we were having it messing around. It was messing around a little bit. And you could see on the 1 minute that it was consolidating, right? It was one, ranging, right? Consolidating, ranging, whatever. Yeah. So we needed to wait for this break. Okay. So the minute it broke, we entered, set our SL and let the market run, right? And we just follow, right? And then as it breaks down, you let it go down, you set it again. And then you just keep following it down the line, okay? So we're waiting for the breaks. So I'll point out on the sessions, guys, if we break this level here, right? Or if we break, and I'm pointing at it, this level here, this level here, this level here, you get in, yeah? Then I think we got down to this one, or it might have been something like that, I can't remember. And we again waited for the break. Some people stayed in it, which is good, yeah? So on the sessions, I use the 3 minute to trade on my MetaTrader, okay? But I'm also using the 1 minute, okay? To see what market's doing on the 1 minute. It allows me to see more what's happening on here, okay? So when you see it on the 1 minute, oh, red candle, this is going to start pulling back. Let me just set my my SL, my take profit, right? Sorry, my stop profit. I am using this as my guide, but trading on this side, okay? So does that make sense with the levels for everyone? Most of you already know this, but I know that some of you don't, okay? So does that make sense to you? This is why I have key levels marked out. Now, how do I get them levels? How do I get these levels? Killshot. Killshot have them. Look, for example, Killshot, this is a level that Killshot has already marked out. So all I do is I go to the 4 hour, the 1 hour, the 30 minutes, and the 15, and I just mark out them zones. I don't need to go any further down because A, I have the 3 minute in front of me. B, I have the 1 minute in front of me, so I don't need to do that. And then the only other one is the 5 minute, really. So if I've got it here on the 3, I've got it here on the 1, I've got the 15 and all of that in front of me. I don't really need to make any more lines on my page, right? But I'm only using this one for these to break out. Sometimes when I'm trading on my own, I might do the same thing, okay? But then I'm looking at higher time frames. The So I look between the 4 hour, the 1 hour, and the 30 minutes, and I keep the 15 minute in front of me. So always look at the 4 hour to see what's happening, right? Look and see fair value gaps, key levels, okay? Then when you mark out your key levels, you go and look at the 1 hour and the 30 minutes, you're going to see there's a whole lot more activity happening inside them zones. I just showed you the 4 hour. I didn't show you the 1 or the 30 or any other time frame. I just showed you the 4 hour because that was enough, really. I don't need to go through all the zones with you, right? You guys can do some, okay? So what I do is I look, right? I'm looking at everything around me. Fair value gaps, what this is saying, the 238 EMA, okay? All of that stuff, right? And you know what? As we do more training, I will go over more things so that you get to see exactly how I see it, you know? How does Caroline get it right a lot of the time, most of the time? Again, I'm not no one special. I just pay attention to the markets. I'm just forever looking at it, looking at its behavior. Okay. Now, just wanted to go over a couple more things. Now, I know we've broken this down before many a time. I've said to you different ways for you to take, your solid trades, right? So I have on here bullseye and kill shot. So if you want trades to come in, use bullseye and kill shot. Now, I know I've mentioned this many times and I've mentioned it, DeFi and kill shot, but I'm just going over again for the new people as well. Bullseye and kill shot. So you will see on this time frame, I have bullseye on. So I use it with kill shot. Why do I do that? A, for my lines, okay? And B, obviously bullseye will give you a trade. But remember, I think what I am going to do is I'm going to do a training myself on bullseye, right? Because bullseye is very good, but then sometimes a trade might come in. I'll look at it and go, okay, yeah, that's not going to happen. That's not confirmed. And it does exactly that. It doesn't happen. It's not confirmed. It goes, right? So we need to have a training on bullseye. Okay. So I think the next study group session, you have to know how to use it. Yeah. So the next study group session, we are going to be covering bullseye first. We'll go through the bullseye. I know you did one with Carl as well. So I'll have Carl on that one with me. But we'll go through the bullseye training and then I'm going to break it down myself as well. Right. As we do anyway on our study group sessions, because I want you guys to understand it. But I also want you guys to use, why do I want you to use kill shot? Okay. I want you to use kill shot because of this up, 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 above, above, above. Definitely need to do a bullseye training session. I've not looked at it as it's always, yeah, okay, no problem. No, we're going to cover that. We're going to cover that next week. Okay. So use this up, 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 above, above, above. If time frames 1, 2, and 3 are up and these are above, okay, that is your confirmation for an uptrend. Any trades that come in on that up to the 5 minute, because that's all you can use bullseye on, right? You can't use it on the 15 minute. Yeah, you can't. So what you want to see is up, 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 above, above, above. Okay? If you see up, 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 then you know that we have got a solid uptrend. Okay? So then you look on your 5 minute, 3 minute, 1 minute. See if you can see any trades, okay, for the bullseye. But again, like I said, we're going to go and break down a more in-depth training about bullseye because before we really want to be going, yeah, use this, do this, blah, 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 I want you guys to train on it first because that is how you are going to win, right? Now, DeFi is slightly different, right? Because DeFi works on every single time frame. But again, using the kill shot, up, 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 above, above, above. If they are saying the same, oh, by the way, the same for down, 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 below, 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 right? They are saying the same. Okay, that's for the uptrend, for the downtrend. You can look on every time frame, but here's what you want to do. You want to be looking at the hour, the 30, the 15, then the 5. Right? These are the time frames you want to be focusing on. If you see up, 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 above, 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 okay, down, 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 below, 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 right? Go and see what trades are on the time frame. If there is one at entry, boom, you just got yourself a trade, right? But again, there are other things that you want to pay attention to. Now, with DeFi, you've got the DeFi helper as well. So you could use the DeFi helper also, right? So, and again, we'll break that down as well, right? We'll break that down. But let's say, for example, a trade comes in, right, on DeFi. Now, where did that trade come in? This trade came in here. Now, remember, I have mine on candle pullback, right? So when the trade comes in, the candle pulls back. The candle pulls back, yeah? And then you wait for it to start pushing back up. You see the arrow, the arrow, the arrow, the arrow. You see this table up, up, up. You see the volume is good. Yeah? All these things I want you to start paying attention to when you are taking trades on these scanners on your own. Okay? Where's the 238? What is the volume? What is this saying to me? Is there a trade on any of these time frames? 15-minute, the hour, the 30-minute, right? Even the 4 hour, okay? But just know with the 4 hour could fluctuate a little bit, right? So, pay attention, wait for the candle pullback. Once the candle, yeah, definitely. Is Leanne, are you still on is Leanne still on this call? Leanne. Yeah. Okay. Could you please write, you know where I'm talking about. Could you write down checklist for the DeFi and kill shot strategy, please, for me, so that we don't forget it in that group, and then we'll send it out in like in a flyer format. We'll get Carl to do it. Carl. So then that way we don't forget that because that's actually a solid thing there, Mo. So appreciate you for that. So what does that say? On each scanner. Oh, what a checklist. Yeah, no, definitely, definitely. Checklist. Yeah, and we could even have a checklist on the bullseye. But also, like I said, I want to go through the training on bullseye first, and then I want to go through the training on smart shot as well. Okay. So that's important, right? That's very, very important that we do that. Supernova has its own one as well. Yeah, but we're going to implement Supernova with it, right? So it's going to be like the kill shot supernova DeFi, kill shot supernova bullseye. Then we can do kill shot bullseye, kill shot DeFi, and then smart shot and all of them, right? So what we're going to be doing is putting together some strategies for all of these scanners so you guys know, and then you guys will do your checklists, your 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 confirmations on each of the scanners. Therefore, when you get them 5 confirmations, you then execute the trade knowing that the trade is going to be more likely to go and hit that TP, right? These are the things that we are going to be doing. I know I've kind of mentioned it, I've kind of said, but we don't have a specific, and it was Leanne actually that kind of pointed it out yesterday or this morning or sometime. Anyway, I can't remember. But anyway, she pointed out that we should have that, which is a fair point. So these are the things that we're going to be doing. We'll implement them. So you guys make sure that you know you're tick marking off all of these. That way you're going to get more solid. I swear to God, I thought I had a spider crawling on my leg then. Do you know, 3 times, twice, and there's one right there. Twice, I was sat here, spider come running up to me. Last night I was laying in bed and a spider come running right down past my head. I jumped out of bed so fast. Honestly, my heart was about to fly out of my chest. Yeah, me and spiders, we don't get on, right? The slipper comes out and everything. And I literally thought I had a spider crawling on my leg just then. My leg started itching, now getting a little bit paranoid, right? Sorry. Forgot. I don't know why my camera's off. But anyway, keep that back on. Right, anyway. So these are the things that we're gonna do. And yeah, so you guys know. And then Smart Shot, right? We're gonna break down Smart Shot so you guys can understand that scanner as well. Okay? But remember, whenever I take a trade on the 3 minute, I trade the 3 minute, I trade the off time frames as well. I'm always looking at the 1 minute to give me my guide. As you guys know, I have 4 different time frames open. Remember, my chapter 10 is not the same as your chapter, whatever your chapter may be. So I liked, it's just the way that my mind operates, the way my brain works. I like to see different things because, again, I like to get as many confirmations as humanly possible. Why do you think I get it so precise a lot of the time? Because I have a lot of things that I'm looking at. You guys don't need to do that right now because you've got me to kind of guide you as much as possible. But this is why I do what I do, because I like to have all of them confirmations. I like to look. And now I'm at a point, right? Now I'm at a point in the market when I can look at it. Like when I said to you guys where it was going when I'm sending in analysis, I can look at it and go, I guarantee the market's going to go and hit there. And it does, because I'm at that point now. And this is the point where you guys are going to get to, because you realize, right? Just like what Zach put in the chat before, surround yourself with 5 people, 5 millionaires, right? If you surround yourself with me long enough, you will start to look at the market the way that I look at it. You will start to become like that because you become what you focus on. You become the people that you are around. Always. So as long as you stay close and plug in, you will get there. I promise you. Because believe me, when I first started, yeah, I was terrible. I was so bad at trading. I just literally see the market go up and go, oh, bye. Or the market drop and go, oh, sell. Yeah. and I just kept making mistakes. But why is that? Because I wasn't focused. I wasn't paying attention, right? Oh, I love that. I love that. This is your first study group session, right, Jane? If I'm right in thinking so, yeah. So get used to them, my lovely, because this is something that we do. I was doing them a bit more consistent at the start, but yeah, they're gonna be a lot more. Other people are gonna be doing them as well, but then also I'm gonna do them too. So we're just gonna keep doing it. The aim of the game here, guys, is that every single one of you is winning, learning, and growing every single day. That's the most important thing. That's why it doesn't matter wherever we are, whatever system we're using, as long as we've got this community, it doesn't matter. As long as we've got this community, you always get this from me. Okay? So just know that, right? But anyway, so these are the things that we're going to put into place. So if you do take a trade on the 1 minute DeFi, remember, it's going to shoot up, it's going to be quite fast. But what you can also do is if you are trading by yourself, if you have, for example, the 1 minute on, the 3 minute, and the 5 minute, yeah, and you correlate them, are they all saying buy and things like that? Again, that's something else you can use, right? Now, yes, I have the premium version of TradingView because I wanted it all. And I paid for the whole year, right? Because I thought, why not? So that's why I can have multiple time frames open. You can also, what is it? How do you do this now? I think you can right click your mouse here and duplicate tab, right? You can duplicate your tab. You can keep on this one. And these are things that Carl will also teach, right? But what you can also do is you can save this particular chart, right? So you save whatever chart you're on, just click it here and then make a copy. You can make a copy of the chart. You can rename it and you could say DeFi 135, right? DeFi 135. Or it could be DeFi 1, then do another one, DeFi 2, do another one, DeFi 3, whatever's easiest for you, or however many charts you can have open on one screen. So if you can only have two, because that's the version you've got, then you have DeFi 1 and 2. Then you duplicate, you copy, right? You do this, duplicate the tab. Once you've saved DeFi 1 and 2, or 1 and 3, whatever it is, you duplicate the tab, you open up another tab here, well, it duplicates it, it will open. Then you have, say, for example, 5 and 15, right? Save it, duplicate. Yeah? 31 hour. So then all you simply have to do is just click between the three tabs up here and you've got them all open, right? But just make sure you save the layout, save the chart. So then all you got to simply do is just flick between each. Yeah. And then you've got DeFi 1, 3, 5, 15, 30, an hour, right? Therefore, when you are looking at the market, you are looking at this diagram here, up, 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 above, 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 okay? If they're all saying up, 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 amazing, right? You're onto a winner, yeah? Now, so you've got that as a confirmation too, right? You have your different time frames up. You look, you see, are they all saying buy? Are they all giving me buy trades? Now, the one that's going to be different to all of them is probably going to be the 1 minute, because the 1 minute is going to react off liquidity. It just reacts off of everything, right? So you might get a sell on here when everything else is saying buy, but then the next trade may be a buy, right? So don't panic if you see that happen, because you know when market shoots up, shoots back down, sell's going to come in, might not confirm, then the buy's going to come in, right? So as long as you see the arrows, let it do the candle pullback, and if it's going in your direction, then you take the buy. You take the trade, whether it be a buy or a sell. As long as you have the arrows, it's going in your direction, and you do not see any crosses, because a cross is basically saying stay away, right? I use my phone and it has quick time change, so you can scroll through the yeah. Yeah, no, that's good as well. Um, Phone is good too. I mainly only trade, I mean, I do trade when I'm out of the house, don't get me wrong, and I do like the fact that I can use TradingView on my phone and not have to worry about it not working or not being compatible with the device and whatnot, right? So remember that. Don't see any crosses. You don't want to see any X's. You just want to see arrow, 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 arrow. You wait for it to do its candle pullback, and then you enter. As long as it's going in your direction, you enter. Remember, like when we had the old system, the Sniper Pro, that I mean, that was so badly delayed, but it is what it is, right? But anyway, the point is, look, when you see an X, you don't get in. You wait for the arrows. Make sure it's going in your direction, and then you are good. Now, then what you can also do is go and look at the other time frames again and see where their TPs are. Look again for what I'm teaching you at key levels and see what market is doing. And as long as you protect yourself in your trades, guys, you will always be sorted. So keep an eye on this board here, okay? You can also use the DeFi helper as well, which will help you. That's very good as well. Make sure the volume is good too, okay? Even though we can trade when the volume's low, we can scalp, but make sure volume is good. And then that way you'll be able to execute more precise trades using the DeFi, right? But if you do not wait for them confirmations, it might go and fall into the warning zone and then go and hit your stop loss before it's even been confirmed, okay? So we will write down the checklist for you guys for obviously DeFi, all of them, okay? And then just pay attention to that. Now, remember what I also said to you about the gray line, right? You can use this gray line on any time frame. Any. It doesn't matter. Any time frame. Higher time frame, the bigger the move. That's what's going to happen. The higher the time frame, the bigger the move. Now, look, right? You can see gray line. Market is running through the middle of it always. Okay? Look at it. So remember, we took a trade on the session not long ago, a couple of days ago, and I said, right, when it breaks this gray line, get in. Yeah? What did it do? Broke the gray line, went to the Bollinger, came back through to the gray line, broke the gray line, hit a zone, and these are the things that you want to pay attention to as well. So remember, as long as you enter the trade and you set your stop profit at some point, you're good, right? So it broke the gray line, came back up, hit this, reacted off it, came back through the gray line, boom, broke the gray line, take the sell. So the reason I'm pointing this out is because if the gray line, if it doesn't go from gray line to Bollinger, guess what it's going to do? Do you know what it's going to do if it doesn't go gray line to Bollinger or the bands, whatever you want to call them? What's it going to do if it doesn't go gray line to band? What's it going to do? It's literally right in front of you, but what can you see? Trying to get you guys to see it as well so that you'll pay attention if you're using this very simple strategy. So look, gray line to Bollinger, from Bollinger to where? Here, look. Look. You see? So look, it hit the Bollinger, came up to the gray line, hit through the gray line. So look, when it broke the gray line, where did it react from? This. Yeah? The lines. You see? You see? The lines. You see? No, well, look, no, the lines, look, the lines, the lines, the lines, the lines, the lines, the lines. Look at my 3 minute, the lines, the lines. Do you get me? Right? The lines. Yeah? Okay. So if it doesn't doesn't go from gray line to Bollinger, it's going to go through to the gray line. So Bollinger to the gray line, and then gray line to the lines. Yeah, these kill shot lines, whatever time frame it's on. Whatever time frame it's on. Okay. So therefore, you know, okay, so we're coming up to this zone here. Let me protect it, right? We're coming up to almost the line. Let me protect it. Okay? So then what did it do? It reacted from that, came back through the gray line, reacted from that. You are going to get a couple of times when it's just going to mess around in the middle, but then look, reacted from that zone, hit up here. So this is my point. So if you're going to use the gray line, know that you're going to get movement from it. You are going to make money whatever the weather. It doesn't matter, because when it breaks this gray line, it's going to go up. It's going to come down. So you could literally trade the gray line from Bollinger to the gray line, from the gray line to the Bollinger, or you could trade Bollinger to Bollinger. But also as well, I just want to point out also, right? Remember the stars, okay? Remember the stars. Green star to red, yeah? If you're taking a trade and we're going for a buy, do you see a green star? If you see a green star and a buy, yeah, take it. You want to take it. Of course, use all your confirmations, but take it. Remember, star to star. You can even make money star to 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 star. This is one of the things I was teaching, right? So pay attention to that as well. But again, back to the gray line. Band to the gray line. Gray line to almost the band, but look, it hit this. Whatever time frame you're on, hit this zone, boom, bounce back up to the gray line. Right? Again, hit through the gray line, hit up here, came back through. Can you see? It's like ping pong, ping pong, ping pong, right? This is my point. Yeah? Gray line, band, band, all the way down to the band. Okay? So as long as you get in the trade, band, boom. Let me take a sell now, or a sell now, right? Solid. That would have been a solid sell. It's as simple as that, guys. As simple as that. So use the bands and this gray line to also trade with, and you will wipe the floor with the markets every single day. I'm telling you, this is such a simple way for you to trade. Now, let's just have a look. See what it's like on the 30. See if we get just have a look. We'll have a look through the time frames quickly. Okay. Now, this is on the 30-minute. Okay. So look, 30-minute band to grey line, came back up, hit this zone, right? Came back down. But you could have literally gone from band all the way down to band, back up from the band to the grey line. Okay, you can see back through the grey line to the band, from the band back to the grey line. Now, if you're going to trade in this way, do you ignore the 238? Well, I mean, look, the 238 is all the way up there. So one thing that you want to remember about the 238 is, can you point out the grey line, please? I'm not sure I'm seeing it. This one here. This one right here. See it? All the way through here. Do you see it? Just this one here. Can you see that now? Okay, cool. If you use that strategy on DeFi, grey line, do you ignore the 238 position on kill shot? Not necessarily. I mean, look, on this one, the 238 will always kind of move as well. But as long as you are protecting yourself in the trade and you are using your stop profit, doesn't really matter, does it? Doesn't really matter, right? So just practice it. Give it a few practice runs, right? So 238's up here. Guess what? Market's always going to make its way back to the 238. Always. It's always going to make its way back to the 238 because the 238 is also a point of rejection. It will reject, but it's also like a magnet as well. It's going to be attracted to it. So look at it like that. So look, hit the bands, came up to the grey line. Now you could do band to grey line. That's it. Let it break through. Go back in. Look, this was a proper good move. Look, band. Yes, now look, this one came back down. It rejected from here. But that doesn't matter because as long as you don't get in and panic or anything like that, yeah? So let's say, for example, you probably would have got in here. Now, if you had have pulled up your stop, you would have got taken out, right? The minute that that came back down, right? But then, so you could have got into that and pulled up your stop quite nicely, right? Then it came back down. So wait for it to come back into the bands. You see market pushing back up. You may have I don't know, you may enter around about here, right? And then you just pull up your stop again. So you'll be able to enter it a few times. It's however you want to do it, but I'm just showing you that you can do it on any time frame. So at the start, use the smaller time frames. It's just another strategy. Whoa, what the heck? Sorry. Yeah, I don't like looking at that one. It's just another strategy that you can use. 5 minute. Use the 5 minute as well, right? Whichever one makes you feel more confident. Because look, solid, right? Okay, so this is the thing, right? I'll come back to that in a second. Yeah, so for example, this one here, right? On the 5 minute, look, band all the way down, band to band to band. That would have been a nice move. In this case, it just followed it, flowed through nicely, right? Um, but you can still see on the 5 minute. Look, band to grey line to band to grey line to band to grey line. You see, or to this here, right? When you start seeing the market changing direction, you would have got in, you would have been in a nice bit of profit here. You would have probably pulled your stop, you would have probably got taken out, but still, you've made a good bit of profit on that move. Yeah, that's it. Grey line, back to grey line. Yeah, you would have got into that trade, you would have probably got taken out. One thing I also want you to remember is if you are practicing this, don't keep getting in. You make the trade. If you get taken out, you don't want to keep going in because you might face a bit of a problem if you just keep going and keep going and keep going in, right? So you need to wait for a bit of a confirmation first, right? In this particular case, okay? Gray line is coming away from the gray line, is heading towards the band. That is what it is going to do. It's going to go from gray line to band. Simple. Okay? No, because this is DeFi. This is on DeFi, lovely. Okay, so this is kill shot and DeFi together. So that's probably why you can't see it. So look, band to gray line, right? Be content with what you make from that move. Until you really start to grasp it, then you'll be able to start taking more positions. Now, you asked a question about the stars. When you trade the stars, how do you know when to enter as the stars move? Do you just wait for the candle to go into the right direction? All right, so look, for example, where's the green star on this one? Here. Okay, green star comes in. Okay, now remember this. The green star is chasing the red, and the red is chasing the green. Okay, so whenever you see a green star, right, the green star is going to start moving up until you see the red star appear. When you see the red star appear, that's when you know market is going to is about to change its course. So the green star, sorry, the red star, for example, could have came in here, or it might have came in here, yeah, or it might have come in here, and it's moved, it's moved, it's moved, it's moved. So while the market is still going up, you don't want to be obviously entering into any trades. So you need to wait, right? And you look, use the Bollingers as well as another confirmation, right? It's hit the Bollinger Bands. Yeah. So you use the Bollingers as another confirmation. Then you wait, you see it, it's hit the Bollingers. Most of the time, it's not going to come all the way out of the Bollingers. It might come up a little bit, but then what's it going to do? It's going to come straight back down. So what you do is you wait. You can wait 1, 2, 3 candles, even 4 candles if you wanted to. It's up to you. But you wait. You use the Bollingers again as a guide. You use you can also use lines as well, these lines. And then when you see that the market is starting to change direction, that's when you will enter. And I will say this. This is what I will say, right? Take the trade. If you are taking a sell based off of that, right? Please make sure that the market is starting to push down, starting to push in your direction. Okay, the volume is good, things like that, right? Make sure. And please, please, please be patient with the trade. Be patient with the star, right? Because when this star starts to push market down, it's going to push. Then when you see a blue or a yellow star, you then know that that star is in full force. Okay. So then what you're going to do is you are going to watch the blues and the yellows. Blue and a yellow came in, pushed it back up here. Yellow came in, pushed it back down here. Yellow came in, blue came in, came down. Yellow came in, pushed it down. Yellow, yellow, blue. Then you got your sell signal. Then you got the histogram changing. So my point is, what I'm trying to make is this was if you get into a trade based on the star, do not over leverage. Do not over leverage and be patient with the trade, because it will start to go in your direction. Okay. And when you start to see the other stars, then you know that trade, that star is no longer going to move. So now the market has now got into full swing on that star. So that next star isn't, oh my gosh, I need to get out, it's going to push the market up. You go, confirmation that that red star is in full flow, right? And then you stay in until you might see the green star come in, okay? That will be your confirmation to be either exiting the trade, okay? Or about to exit the trade. But if you got in from here at 4661 and that came in and you ended up getting out at 4606, pretty solid trade, right? Does that make sense about the stars? Please let me know. Yeah? Does that help clear up the stars a little bit more? Okay, perfect. Right, guys, we've been on this session 2 hours. Has it been 2 hours? Dang. Yeah, I'm done. I've had enough now, right? Guys, have you learned something? Have you had, have you got value from this session? Yeah? Let's see how many people lasted. We had a couple. I'm going to see who dropped off actually, because I know he was on. Okay. Okay. Yep. Let me see. This is Canal, by the way. Zoom crashed, so I logged. I was wondering who that was. I thought it was Jason. I thought Jason had changed his name again, but I couldn't work it out. Okay. Thank you so very much for the session. I'll be going over the recording. Laura, thank you. Learned a lot. Thanks, Caroline. I'll watch the recording. Great session. Okay, perfect, perfect. Okay, cool. As long as this has helped, I'm happy. Okay, right? The aim of the game is that you guys are successful in this. I'm here to help. Okay, but guys, my eyes are stinging now. I need to go to bed. I'm done. Right? So I appreciate every single one of you for being on. And I will see you on the next call, on the next session. And enjoy the rest of your weekend. I will see you soon. Oh yeah, it's bank holiday, but the markets are still open, right? On Monday. Yeah, so it's game on. Ain't nothing changing there. All right, guys, I will see you all soon. Appreciate each and every one of you. Good night. Good night. Good night.